How's it going, everybody? My name is Alexis Portnova, and I am an agency owner. I offer appointment setting to other agencies in the local biz niche. Now, today's video, this is going to be the third episode of my weekly journal. Now, this one is a little bit later. I just didn't have the time to film it yesterday. So, let's go ahead and jump right into it. So, I have preset questions that I ask myself every week, just so I can gauge and see if I made any progress, if, how many things I accomplished in that week. Now, the first question is, how do I feel about where my agency is currently at? Now, I've done a lot more research and thinking, and the profit margins on a traditional agency, right, even if you are performance-based, is not the greatest whatsoever, right? And I've been thinking, since my agency setup right now is currently a performance basis, right? So my clients, I run a cold email acquisition system, and every time a client gets a client to show up, or a potential client to show up to one of their meetings that I set them, then I get paid a certain fee, right? Or I charge a certain fee for that. But as of right now, I was thinking in terms of scaling, I would have to hire on a cold email specialist, right? And then I'd have to hire a couple of VAs maybe to even manage mine, but then maybe a couple of VAs to even manage the inbox and that type of thing. And then sooner or later, bring on somebody to do sales. So all my money is either going to my team, or would hypothetically be going to my team, and then to all the softwares, and to market myself. And I always think it's important to put the money that you earn back into your agency, so to always make it better. So whether that be purchasing more better softwares, or more softwares, or just refining and making, maybe even buying a course or by consulting from people who have done this way longer than you have, just to get a mass amount of information in order to deliver it to whoever your client is. Now, that is why I think I'm probably going to try to make a transition into more of a done with you consulting type of thing. So instead of me setting up the email inboxes and just managing the whole cold email aspect for my clients, I'm going to keep the ones I have currently now, right? So the clients that I already have, I'm going to keep, and I'm going to keep doing this until they decide to leave. But as of right now, I think I'm going to stop on that and then try to do more of a done with you, like I said previously, and to where I'll just do a 6-week long program. Really, it's just give you from start to finish how to do everything in cold email, right? So from the beginning, how to set them up, where to even go, what would be the best places to do that, how to set the records up, how to import them into whatever software you're using. I personally use Instantly, so I'll probably teach how to use Instantly in there. I think it's just most user-friendly, and especially the easiest one to learn on as a beginner. And then how to craft the emails, how to set up the sequences, how to set up the timing for those follow-ups and those sequences to go out, how to manage the inbox, how to reply to these people that maybe are showing interest, right? And how to book them into your calendar and have it be as seamless as possible. So all of these things I'll probably go into depth in that program. It's still being kind of built out. I've been playing around, trying to see what other small things I can offer, kind of where I'm going to house it. I have a general idea, but I think I'm going to take the next couple of weeks and just not take on any more clients and really just hunker down on this. And then once all of the assets, but all of the content is completed and I'm ready to take it to the market, I will. Right? So that's where I'm at currently. I'm thinking of maybe just making a small shift, so then I'm able to deliver this myself. I spend less time in general, and then the profit margins will be way, way, way better than what it would be if I were to try to scale this as it is a traditional agency. Next question is, where do I want my agency to be in the next video? Now, by the next video, I want to go ahead and have at least 4 or 5 documents completed for this program, and then film out all the videos to go with that as well, all the educational, the informational videos, and then just map out exactly just in order to give as much value in these videos as possible. And these videos are probably going to be hour-ish long average, right? So that's my goal, to have at least 5 or 6 done. And then the next question is, what could I have done better? Now, I know in one of these previous videos, I touched upon, like, you can't really, like, I personally don't feel comfortable cutting out, like, my family or, like, my partner, that type of thing, just because, like, what are you without money? I touched on that on the previous video as well, but it's more like this past week I've dealt with just a lot of family matters, and then my girlfriend also had her birthday, and it was her 21st birthday, so you only turn 21 one time. So we went and celebrated that, and then my mother is divorcing my father, so my mom is not native to the USA. She's not from the US. She came over here when she was like 13 from the Philippines. She's very Americanized, but she still doesn't understand a lot of like the legal things, and she gets stressed out very easily. So I've been having to help her go through that divorce process and go to the courthouse and do all that stuff. This is maybe a little bit irrelevant, but I haven't had too much time to work specifically on my agency. I've been managing my current clients still, but I haven't actively tried to get anybody else or film any more YouTube videos or or try to scale or complete or start on my new business venture, right? So when I take everything into aspect, like, it makes sense as to why I didn't get as much done in my agency, but on the other hand, like, this is what's supposed to set me up for life, so it's really just like a mind thing, and me trying to process this and kind of make peace with that lost time, quote-unquote lost time, but a lot of those things, like, they're done now, and then I can move on from that point. And the next question is going to be, what was my mental state like this week? It wasn't too bad, honestly. I was just like wrapped up in a lot of personal stuff, from what I told you previously. But besides that, I mean, it's just, I feel like, very normal day-to-day stuff that a lot of people kind of go through. Next question is, what's one thing I learned this week? So, this is going to sound so ridiculous, but it's almost like I finally learned and came up with something, quote-unquote, myself. Obviously, a lot of people have done this type of business before, like consulting or like a done-with-you aspect, but I went through a course when I first got into SMMA. It was Iman's course, and they teach you, like, the traditional way to, like, build an agency, do Facebook ads, that type of thing, but he teaches predominantly, like, done-for-you services. And I think later on he teaches, like, done with you in, like, a separate program, but I only bought the done with you program. So you kind of just, like, do what they tell you to do, almost. Like, they tell you to pick your niche, so you do. They tell you to create an offer, so you do. And then you kind of have, like, your agency already kind of, like, lined up for you, or, like, the structure of it, right? So the done for you type of structure. And I forget who I saw online, but there was a couple people, actually. There's, I think, Montel Gordon. He's kind of doing what I want to be doing. He's like that consulting type of thing. And then I believe his name, I don't know, I'm going to butcher it, and I feel so bad. Krishov. He's also in that Iman's group, and he's kind of he calls it like a hybrid agency. So he helps people, he also kind of like sets things up, so it's a little bit done for you, but it's done with you mostly, and it's more like a consulting type of thing. So that was kind of my thought process. Like, no one told me to do this, right? It was more just like gauging where other people are moving towards, like people that have already made like 6 figures, right? They're not really doing any more traditional agency stuff. They're either creating their own courses, which I don't really want to do, or at least I don't want to sell it for like crazy amounts like the 997 courses, right? But like a lot of them are going towards this like consulting type of path. So, and the way they explained it and like the profit margins and everything, like I'm spending so much time because I'm delivering my services myself as of right now. So like the time that I'm spending doing this, but then also trying to like maybe find somebody to, or a couple people to man like the cold emails and the responses and everything like on a daily basis, or like Monday through Friday at least, because local businesses only run through Monday through Friday, but because of the different time zones and because of like the different like time periods that we send out these emails, depending on the niche, like you're gonna have to have somebody man or operate this at least more than 12 hours a day, right? So whether that be 2 part-time people or 1 full-time and 1 part-time, like there's a lot more room for error, and there's a lot more money that has to go into it. So I kind of had a little conversation with myself and just decided on what would be the best for me moving forward, what would be the best like from money and time wise, right? Because even if you do scale up and you outsource and you hire on like teammates and you outsource whatever task you want to, right, whether that be service delivery or outreach, whatever it may be, then you have to do meetings with those teammates, and then you have to also like check to see if they're actually hitting these goals, if they're doing a good job in general, or if they have to be trained a little bit more, or even training, you have to train them as well. Like you can't just hire a VA and then if they even have had past outreach experience on Facebook or Instagram, then you still have to kind of train them in the way that you want things to be ran, right? Everyone is different. They probably learned in a different type of setting as well. So you have to take the time to do that. So it's just, where do I want to spend my time? How many people do I want to have underneath me? What is the easiest way to scale, right? Am I leveraging my service, or I'm going to leverage my knowledge? So knowledge you can grow almost exponentially, right? Like it usually takes less money to do that, and time, right? So time is the ultimate currency in my eyes. So that has been the little update for this past week. Like I said, it was a day late. I apologize, but yeah, all in all, it was a good week, and I will see you guys in the next video. Anyways, I hope you guys have an amazing day, and I will see you later. Later.